A stick of name brand butter costs somewhere between $1.50 and $2 right now. The single ingredient to make that exact same stick at home costs 40 cents, and the 5 minutes you spend making it automatically produces a full cup of buttermilk as a free byproduct. That cup of buttermilk runs another $1.50 to $2 at the store. You're not making one product. You're making two products for less than the price of one. Today I'm going to show you how to turn one ingredient into two separate dairy products simultaneously, using nothing but a jar, your hands, and the same physics that dairy farms ran on for about 4,000 years before anyone decided to wrap it in foil. I'll walk you through the exact method, break down why the cream splits the way it does, and show you the one finishing step that separates butter that keeps for 3 weeks from butter that goes rancid in 5 days. And at the end, there's a 48-hour variation that produces something that tastes like nothing sold in a grocery store, the kind professional pastry kitchens pay a premium for, the kind specialty shops charge $10 a roll for. Same jar, same 5 minutes. 48 hours of doing absolutely nothing in between while bacteria do expensive flavor work for free. Watch until the compound butter section, because there's a technique that turns this 40-cent base into something that runs $4 to $6 at the store in about 90 seconds. I've been making butter at home for 6 months now. The wrapper version still shows up in my fridge occasionally, and every time I use it, I'm reminded exactly why I stopped defaulting to it. Here's the physics. Because once you understand it, you can't unsee it. Heavy cream is an emulsion, fat globules suspended in water-based liquid, each one wrapped in a thin protein membrane that holds it separate from its neighbors. That membrane is why cream pours instead of clumping. When you agitate it hard enough, shake it, blend it, churn it, those membranes rupture. The fat globules collide and start bonding together. They keep bonding, one clump to the next, building mass, until the fat and the water have fully separated. The solid fat is butter. The thin liquid left behind is buttermilk. You didn't make two things. The cream always contained two things. You just shook hard enough to let them find each other. This is not a recipe. It's a phase transition. The cream was always going to do this. It just needed enough disruption to get there. One ingredient, heavy cream, full fat, not light cream, not half and half. The fat content is the entire mechanism. Pour it into a mason jar with a tight sealing lid, or use a blender on high, or a stand mixer with the whisk attachment. Shaking by hand takes 5 to 10 minutes of active work. A blender or stand mixer takes about 90 seconds. Entirely your call based on whether you want a workout or a result. The method matters slightly. A blender on high gets there fastest, but can splatter at the split point, the moment the cream goes suddenly solid. A stand mixer on medium-high is cleaner, and you can watch the stages. In a jar by hand, fill it only about halfway. Too much cream doesn't have room to slosh properly, and the sloshing is what ruptures the membranes. Half full, shake hard, let the liquid build momentum inside the jar. The stages are predictable, and knowing them matters, because the first two look exactly like failure. Stage 1, the cream turns into whipped cream. The fat globules are trapping air and building structure, not yet clumping. This feels like progress. Then it plateaus. Don't stop. Stage 2. The whipped cream collapses back into a heavy, slippery liquid. The air has escaped. The fat has started clumping but hasn't fully separated yet. This is where most people put it down. Assume something went wrong and refrigerate it. Keep going. Stage 3. A pale yellow solid mass appears suddenly, sitting in a milky white liquid. Butter and buttermilk arriving at the same moment. The transition from stage 2 to stage 3 is fast. One shake, it's all liquid. A few shakes later, it's clearly split. When it happens, the jar looks briefly chaotic. Yellow clump, white liquid sloshing. Your instinct says you've broken something. You haven't. That's the finish line. Temperature controls the speed. Cold cream from the fridge takes closer to 10 minutes. Cream that's been sitting on the counter for 20 minutes moves in 5. Not warm. Room temperature. Warm fat loses structural integrity and the whole process stalls out. 20 minutes out of the fridge is the target. Now the buttermilk. Don't throw it away. What drains off is true buttermilk. The original liquid released from inside the cream, not the thick, cultured version sold in cartons at the store. It's thinner, mildly tangy, and works identically in pancakes, biscuits, quick breads, salad dressings, and as a marinade base for chicken, where the mild acidity tenderizes the protein without the sharp edge that citrus or vinegar leaves. A cup of the commercial version runs about 75 cents to $1 right now. 1 pint of cream produces roughly half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of it as a pure byproduct. It costs nothing extra because it fell out of something you were already making. The combined math, 40 cents for the butter stick, free buttermilk, versus $2 for the butter alone, and then another $2 to $3 for a separate carton. 2 separate grocery line items were placed at once for less than the cost of either one of them. If you're still here, you're exactly who this channel is built for. A free subscribe keeps these coming, no cost to you, helps the channel more than you'd think. Members also get access to a set of videos that never go public. More of this kind of math, more of the mechanisms behind everyday things that quietly cost a lot more than they should. Links below. Back to the butter. After draining the buttermilk, press the butter firmly against the sides of the strainer to push out any remaining liquid. Then rinse it under cold running water while kneading it until the water runs clear. This step almost never gets mentioned, and it's the most important one for shelf life. Any buttermilk left trapped inside ferments quickly and turns the whole batch rancid fast. Rinse it properly, and the homemade version actually outlasts store-bought. Commercial butter retains more residual moisture from industrial processing, and the shelf life difference is real. Salt it immediately after rinsing. A 1/4 teaspoon of fine salt per stick, worked in evenly. Fine salt dissolves into the fat uniformly. Coarse salt leaves pockets. For pastry or baking where neutrality matters, skip the salt entirely. Unsalted integrates more cleanly into dough and doesn't compete with delicate flavors. In the fridge in an airtight container, it keeps up to 3 weeks. On the counter in a butter crock, a ceramic container with a water moat that seals out oxygen, it holds at room temperature for about a week. Butter crocks were standard for centuries before refrigerators made the whole problem seem solved, and then everyone quietly forgot they existed. The 48-hour version. Leave the heavy cream on the counter at room temperature for 1 to 2 days before shaking it. The natural bacteria already present in the cream ferment. The lactose slightly during that window. The cream thickens. It develops a complex layered dairy flavor, a tang that lives behind the richness rather than on top of it, that plain cream never has. And you shake it exactly the same way. Same stages, same 5 minutes. What you get is cultured butter, the kind specialty shops charge $8 to $10 a small roll for. The kind that makes bread service at a serious restaurant taste like a separate course. The bacteria did 48 hours of flavor development entirely on their own, while you were somewhere else. From there, the butter is a platform. Brown it slowly in a pan until the milk solids turn golden. That's beurre noisette, and it adds a nutty caramel depth that completely changes what it does to vegetables, pasta, fish, and eggs. Work roasted garlic, lemon zest, and fresh herbs into a log, and you have compound butter. Grocery stores charge $4 to $6 for a small roll of it. Add anchovy paste, and you've quietly made the backbone behind half the umami in restaurant cooking. Honey and cracked black pepper is a version Williams-Sonoma sells for $8. Miso paste and rice vinegar makes something that has no grocery store equivalent at any price. The base cost stays at 40 cents a stick. The ceiling on what you can build from it is genuinely open. The version in the wrapper has been getting more expensive for 3 years and quietly getting smaller while it does it. The version in the jar takes some 5 minutes, splits into 2 products simultaneously, and the physics behind it have been sitting in every kitchen since long before anyone built a dairy aisle to sell it back to us. Give this one a try this weekend. 1 pint of cream, 1 jar, 5 minutes, and if it earns a spot in your routine, pass it along to someone still buying the wrapper. See you in the next one.